Hello, Jeff Helman here with Ballen Brands, and today I'm going to show you how to get your IDX broker leads into your KW command contacts automatically using Zapier. So what we're going to do here, I'm logged into Zapier. If you don't already have an account, you'll want to go ahead and create one, and we can start with a free account and set this all up and see how it all plays through for you. So once we log in, we have here where basically it goes to your dashboard and says, what do you want to automate today? So we want to connect our IDX leads, you see the IDX Broker logo, with our Keller Williams command. Okay. Then basically what we're setting up here, it says when this happens, so we select the trigger. When a new lead, it's the only option here in IDX Broker, when a new lead comes in, then we want to create a lead with Keller Williams command. So basically it confirms here IDX to KW, create a lead in Keller Williams command when new lead in IDX leads comes in. So let's go ahead and click on use Zap. Okay, so what it's going to do here, it says I've already connected the IDX Broker account in here, but it's making sure that I have the one that I want connected. So if you don't already have that connected, we're going to click on that connect an account, and it's going to open up your IDX, and it wants your API key. So your API key, it's actually very easy to find. When you log into IDX Broker, you're going to click on access control over here on the left hand side, and then you actually grab your API key here. We just copy that and go back to Zapier, and then you would paste in your API key and hit yes, continue. So since I already have mine set up, it is connected here. That is mine, and so now I can go ahead and click on save and continue. So then it wants me to actually pick a sample to set up the Zapier. So it's looking in IDX Broker right now. It says it takes up to 3 minutes, but it won't take that long. And it pulls in a few leads, and I can hit this little arrow button to actually get a sample of a few of them. So let's go ahead and click on this next one. So we have Ray. We'll use him as an example. So let's select that. Effectively, you can select any of them. I already have this first one pulled in, so I know I'm going to go to this second one. So I'm going to click on continue. Then what I do here is it has me select my apps. It's already pre-filled this KW command since we've already set that up as what we're trying to do, but if I wanted to change at this point, I can to something else, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that selected here, scroll down to the bottom and hit continue. And then basically it's just confirming what are we doing? We're creating a new lead. So we hit continue. Okay, so here, again, I've already set this up, already had it. If not, I hit connect account, and then it opens up a little window and it just has you log in to Keller Williams command account. Once you log in, you hit yes, continue, and basically then it comes back to this screen, like I said, which I've already connected here. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on save and continue, and now it loads up. So all we're doing here is we're mapping the fields. So we have a data source, we have which team it's being assigned to. You'll see these are required. Then it has the full name, the email address. So I'm going to show you how to set these up here. So what this does is pulls in an actual example from the source that it's going into. So data source, if I start to type in IDX, for example, you'll see there's an option for IDX leads. So if you had IDX, if you had Showcase IDX, if you had different sources, you can choose that. But in this case, because I'm connecting IDX Broker, we're going to select IDX leads. Then it says which team are we doing. So I can hit this little plus sign to get my options. This would be the options of where they come in from IDX, like all the actual IDX leads information. But in this case, I'm not using the IDX lead information. I am using my actual teams that are assigned in KW command. So let me pull that up. Should show me the Lori Ballen team, but for some reason it's not at the moment. Let me type that in. So it should have already pre-filled Lori Ballen team. I'm not sure why, or if I start to type it in, it gives me my options, but it didn't in this case. So we'll see if that connects us correctly. First time I did it, that worked, but that's why this is in beta, because sometimes those little glitches will exist. So, all right, so for full name, in KW it's full name, whereas in IDX Broker it's first name, last name. So what I do is I go ahead and select this first name, and then I'm going to go ahead and select last name as well. So it gives me the example, Ray S in this case. So I selected the first name and last name as two separate fields because in KW command it's one field. So I'm able to pull two fields into the one. All right, so I'm going to go to email, select that option, go to phone. So I go ahead and select phone. Whether it's a buyer or seller, in this case, if it's an IDX lead, it's most likely a buyer, so I can preset that. And I'm going to go to address. So now, in this case, there's no data supplied in IDX Broker for address, but in case there is, I want to go ahead and still map that field in correctly. IDX Broker doesn't collect address line 2, 3, and 4, so those are optional, and we're not going to use it. But I'm going to go ahead and go to city, and I'm going to select state, and then zip code is called postal code in IDX Broker, and then which country. Okay, so those are my options here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Now it's going to give me a test. So this is basically saying that the data source, IDX leads, this is what it's going to look like. Now I just noticed in here that I don't have a space in between the first name, the full name, and the first name. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go back to edit template. I'm going to add a space right here in the middle. There we go. So now first name and last name are separated. Hit continue. Okay, so now I can see this all looks correct. Email is that, phone number is that, it's buyer, seller. These are all empty, but they're set up. So I'm going to go ahead and send tests to Keller Williams command. Okay, so it has a green thing. It says a test was sent to Keller Williams command just now. So if I actually go into command and go to my contacts, I should be able to see array S. I'm not quite sure how these searches work yet, so we may need to give that a moment to go through. So, but basically it says sent to Keller Williams command about 30 seconds ago. Okay, so everything's successful, so I go ahead and hit finish, and then I go ahead and turn that Zap on. So basically what it's doing is it's checking for a new lead every 15 minutes. It's going to go to IDX Broker, see if there's any new leads, and if there are, it's going to pull over to your KW commands. And here, there we go. Awesome, your Zap is working and your Zap is turned on. So that's it. That's the start to finish to setting up Zapier to get your IDX Broker leads automatically into KW commands. If you have any questions, we'd love to help you out. You can email team@ballenbrands.com, or of course you could message Lori. We're on Facebook. We'd love to have you following us and happy to help where we can.